Okay, this is a talk about the live projects, and there are 9 live projects arranged for this Spatial Practices unit, and they were to be talked about with you on Tuesday, which was snowed off. So I'm going to run through them now quickly so that you can factor them in to your the development of your project. Okay. First one, focused on empty shots. Anne has arranged with Tanya McDermott at the Creative Quarter House in Folkestone. She's been able to get 3 spaces available for us to set up window installations. They are probably in Tontine Street, which is, you can see here. A lot of these businesses are creative and interesting. There's a real variety of things here, but there's quite a lot of properties that are empty, but they're all owned by the same person, and that person is connected to the Creative Quarter House. So we've got the opportunity to display a space to display outcomes. Now we've booked them, I think I'm right in saying, for the last 2 weeks of the project. So one of the things we can do is, say, decamp down there on hello. This is a briefing on the live projects we've got available for this unit. First one is Folkestone Empty Shops. Anna's been able to organise with Tanya McDermott from the Creative Quarter to get access to 3 empty shops for the last 2 weeks of the unit. If we go to the project brief, I know we might be a little bit behind now. We've had this kind of interruption with snow, but we should have them for these 2 weeks here. Now, my feeling is that we could set something up and maybe have an opening on a Thursday night, maybe here or here. It just depends on how things go, so we'll have to sort of see how that works out. But what's really good about the kind of window installations, we can kind of make this sort of temporary installation. It can be like window dressing, or it can be just something that's seen from the street and it's there. You know, it can be left there, and we don't have to invigilate it, so we can set it up and walk away. But obviously it's really good to have that facing out into the street, so the public can kind of can see it. It'd be a good way to advertise yourselves and the course, etc. Boing Children's Festival, that's another live project. So this is a festival that's at the Gulbenkian in Canterbury, up on the hill at the university there. It's a children's festival, so you've got and it's in August. So what they're offering for us to do, and they do some really good things, I've worked with them quite a lot in the past, they are very interested in our participation, and they've got a variety of possibilities they'd like to get us involved with. Now, one of the things that's interesting about these live projects is that they don't have to stand just within this unit. There can be something you can work on after this unit's over. And again, as I was saying in the email, these live projects are put into this unit to give you experience of working with, agencies outside of the university. And as you probably know, as you apply for jobs, once you graduate, it's very important to have experience. So it could be good to be working with this organisation. And as I know, someone who works on that organisation, she's fantastic, and she'll facilitate anyone that's interested in doing something like this. You know, if we go back to the Folkestone one, it might be good for a few people to be interested in this one. Maybe 2 people could collaborate on one window, or, a group of 5 people would like to collaborate and put something together. With this one, it'd be good to sort of see if anyone's interested in creating a mural for the busker stand. What you'd have to do is put a proposal together, and we'll talk to you a bit about how proposals are, how you might go about that. Also, the possibility of projection, mapping, and an animation. This is something that was discussed with Eleanor from Boeing, but as you can see, Boeing is in the summer. it's very light and bright. So I'm going to have to see about that one. I'm not sure how that would work out, but I think that could be good to have something that's some sort of projection mapped animation somewhere. We'll see. Like anything that you're working with outside agencies, you have to kind of enter into negotiation. They were also interested, once the kind of idea got out, in a branding redesign of the visual material that they use. So again, that would be a proposal, but if they liked, what was proposed, then they would, there's the potential of it being taken up. But also, because it's their 5th year of this festival, they are interested in having a kind of celebratory artifact or brochure. So it could be, the artifact could be a kind of, I don't know, an archway or a booth or something like that. But as you can see, they have a lot of kind of dramatic events there. I tend to work there as a kind of doing animation workshops, or working in the education side of things, but they have some fantastic events, and it would be really interesting to sort of see something that was kind of generated that had a kind of illustration, graphical, enticing, sort of fun, entertaining kind of brief about it. The Pixies concert. This is a brief written by Hugh. I think Molly got this project in. I think a lot of people across all 3 years are interested in working on it, and it's one of those projects going to need a lot of input for it to work really well. So it's collaborative. By collaborative, I mean you can work together to produce a film for this, and it's film based because it's a 6-channel projection. If you're thinking about these 2 albums, Come On Pilgrim and Surfer Rosa, that's probably around about, if you're thinking about visuals with that, how long does an album last? About 40 minutes, so it's about an hour and a half's worth of visual material, and that's a lot of visual material. So what's interesting about that, if you produce material for this, it can be repurposed for some of the other live projects that are available. I'll come to those in a second. In fact, here's one. So I've been chatting to Stuart at City Sound Project. He's really keen for people to get involved in producing, again, moving image that could go behind screens in the venues. And there is also, he's quite interested in the idea of wayfinding for the festival. So if you haven't seen their website, it is here. And you might be familiar, you might have gone to some of the events. It's a yearly thing here. So it has interesting potential, this one, and to be part of an event where you're projecting imagery in a music situation is really fantastic fun, really exciting. So something that you do maybe for the Pixies could be repurposed and used for City Sound, or you can make something separate. But what's also useful about this one is the event in the Dane John, so which is this event here. You could have your work behind the bands in the Dane John. You can also they've offered the idea of shadowing video illusions. Now this is a big company actually. Maybe I should just get that website up, because they're based unpromisingly in Herne Bay, but they do, when you go to their website, you can sort of see the range of their clientele is huge. So I'll just let the website upload, and you can see some of their clientele. So this company is based in Herne Bay, so they're quite happy for us to shadow them for the day, and I think that could be a good kind of work experience opportunity. So they're 2 deadlines, sorry, one's in April and one's at the end of May. So you finish this unit hand in on the 8th of May, so then you'd have to stay in touch with us or give us the assets. But I think really it'd be good for you to sort of think about how you would manage that. Free Range. Free Range is a long-running, 6 years I think, music and poetry event in Canterbury. And Sam Bailey, who basically is Free Range, here's their website with their kind of program of stuff. they're absolutely hello Skinny playing. Absolutely brilliant. This is their Facebook page. I recently went to see this guy, Paddy Steer. He's a complete and utter nut job. Played this kind of really madly funky dance music, but most of it was done via this microphone that attaches to this mad computer. So what he was singing here became the kind of rhythmical and kind of musical stuff, as well as playing this piano, playing the drums and other odd things. Here's a glockenspiel here, I think, as well. But he played in these strange outfits, and one of the things I think is really interesting about Free Range is that Sam has offered us an event next February, which is great because it gives us time to develop ideas for this. That event could be a kind of culmination of a series of things that we do within this unit that's kind of repackaged and thought about for that moment. But he's also keen for, and there's that kind of strange helmet thing, he's also keen for us to be interested in proposals for program and brochure design, which would be an interesting thing, I think, for you to produce, because we could kind of print them on the college printers, and that would be a useful thing for him to have, possibly a web presence or any artwork made around music. So if you think about the events that are like this, there could be some kind of temporary banners or large scale illustrations that could be made for this. Sam is also keen for students to get in touch. He has a network of poets and musicians available for collaboration. So basically, he knows tons of people around, and you could get some really kind of creative, collaborative ideas coming through this event. And it's quite avant-garde, put it that way. But what's good about it, it allows us to create something that's quite sort of organic, or quite sort of different. You can sort of see here the range of events that are kind of scheduled in. This is going back in time, I think, actually. But and this is the Paddy Steer thing that I saw earlier, where Evan Parker is a world famous jazz musician. So he gets amazing people to come down, and he's kind of runs it on an absolute shoestring. But as I say, I think that would be an interesting one. So we'll talk to you about that as we go through the studio. Studio 101 is a similar project in a sense to the empty shops in Folkestone. Only this isn't an empty shop, it's more of a gallery space, so it could be more of a kind of an exhibition. And again, what could be good is to kind of do a setup of the exhibition 2 weeks prior to the end of the unit. Take some work down there, set it up, and then have a kind of opening night, say on a Thursday, and have a weekend, a show that's kind of invigilated and curated by the students. It could be a good thing because it's the end of the big exhibition that's on at Turner Contemporary at the moment. So that could be, you could get a lot of people looking at your work. So it could be a great thing to kind of organise. Say, I don't know, you might want to make some kind of cheap zines or cards or artifacts or ceramics to sell at this event. Marlowe Kit. This is a new space that's opening in Canterbury, and I've been to see Jamie in the snow, who's the kind of contact there. It's a new space. It's run by the Marlowe. It used to be the Canterbury Museum. What's brilliant about this is they want to interpret the literary figures that are associated with Canterbury, principally Christopher Marlowe, who was a contemporary of Shakespeare, Afrabane, an amazing poet, and Joseph Conrad, the kind of literary giant, if you like. There's not a soft opening end of May now. I think they've pushed the opening back, but they're really interested in all sorts of different content, some of which you may have made already, to do with migration or faith or literature or discovery, sex, gender, intrigue. These are the sort of things, themes associated with these writers here. So there's lots of stuff I think that could be repurposed, but what would be interesting is to see the walkthrough. So if you could just have a quick, this is what Jamie sent me.